East Podcast, WATP.
I know we've been covering Opie a lot recently and covering Opie's reaction to Anthony news. I want to get away from that today because Opie doesn't have a lot more to say about that. People keep chatting him about it. He keeps reacting negatively. But let's look at what Opie's doing from a positive perspective. He really wants this show at Gebhardt's to take off. He even talked about how he had a phone call with Tim Sabian, and he was telling Tim, because Tim's trying to start up this new network or something, and he even told Tim, if you want to get involved with the Opster, why don't you invest in live at Gebhardt's? Let's get some equipment down in the basement. Let's start doing this thing right. And so this is what Opie thinks is his next big thing. So I thought, well, yeah, let's check this out and see what Opie's up to at Gebhardt's.
We are live at Gebhardt's. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our little live stream.
Howdy-ho.
We're doing it. This is Matt. He throws the party every week.
Jesus, all these clowns watch Chad Zumock. We're doing it.
This is Matt. He throws the party every week. We're just here hanging out.
Okay. So for the audio listeners, let me set the scene here.
Did they do it? They did. Tim Sibian or whatever the fuck his name is? Did he give him $300?
This is Opie's bullshit equipment.
Oh, wow.
They have two microphones. Opie's got his on a mic stand. Matt, the owner of Gebhardt's, is just holding on to his, and you're going to see that he's going to use that to interview guests.
There may be duct tape involved.
Yeah, I mean,
lots of it.
Who knows what they're using? It sounds like shit. It looks like shit. The camera angle, once again, Opie does not understand that there should be very little headroom in between your head and the ceiling or the top of the frame. Instead, Opie's always down low, and you get to see all this shit that's not important. It doesn't mean anything. They're down in this basement in a Manhattan bar. So you can only imagine how cramped this is. There's kegs there. There's other guys just hanging out who are cheering in the background for this live stream. Scorch is less pathetic than this. Is that possible? Did I just say that right? Did anyone want to correct me on this? What the fuck is going on, Opie?
I'm looking for rats. Like this whole time, I'm just going to be watching those pipes, looking for rats to crawl across the backdrop.
You will find one if you look close enough. And at least Scorch has like a producer and a director and, lav mics, and they're trying, it sounds like shit and looks like shit, but he's got separate camera angles and they're trying to do something. Opie just sets up the one camera, bad angle, starts up the show, and we find out why he's doing this.
Drinking some free beers.
Stinking up the place.
Thank you, Matt. That's why, you got to super chat us. So,
you're here?
So we can put some money.
To the Spanish King!
To the Spanish King!
So,
How are you, Matt?
yeah, next question.
What happened?
No, everything's just fine.
What happened? He's doing Chad and John? Is that what Opie's watching now?
So confused.
For inspiration, what's going on right now?
KB's turning into Opie.
Yeah. So he's going on, well, we're drinking these free beers. Matt's hooking us up. That's why we need these super chats. You need super chats, Opie? Does Opie just think that, like, if people super chat him, it validates the show? Because I can't imagine any amount of money that came in would put a dent into what his bills are.
He used to ask for the Facebook stars, which are worth a penny.
I forgot about that.
I just noticed something from a plumbing blue collar point of view. I believe his podcast studio is set up beneath two toilets.
Very possible.
Those curvy pipes are down pipes that usually come out of a toilet to keep the stink of poo from coming back up through the toilet. So he's literally podcasting under two toilets right now.
So what you're saying is if a pipe were to burst,
100%.
it would be the most viral show. Opie would finally get that viral video he's been waiting for decades. Yeah. Podcasts would get shit all over him during show. Like, wow.
Yeah, instead of going to the streets to point at dog poo.
Yeah. This is fresh.
At any point it gets quiet enough in that basement they're in, you might hear toilets flushing, and that would be pretty fucking great.
No, they're too busy yelling to the King of Spain, or what were they yelling? The Spanish King, after they did their little, their version of Skull.
I couldn't make it out because he has to do a fucking voice.
Correct. Well, we're going to hear it again because they cheers quite a bit.
Thank God.
Cheers on the show. So they started off with some haircut talk. Matt's clowning Opie for his shitty haircut. They're talking about, well, I went to the guy you told me to go to, but he's distracted, and I went back, blah, blah, blah. So after this banter that they have, they bring in their first guest.
So this is the good version of the haircut.
That's why it's 35.
Cheers to everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers to the Spanish King.
And Scott Watson sucks.
Hey, where's we got a Confederate soldier among us. Where's the Confederate soldier?
So he's ready to bring out his first guest. we're a few minutes in. They've had their little banter with, I don't know if Matt is like the announcer or I don't know if they're co-hosts or 50-50. I assume not. I think Opie's running the show and Matt's just kind of there to bounce things off of. But what I like about this is they bring up the guests. They bring up this guy, DC, whose name is Dick Cox, which, don't worry, that doesn't escape these guys. They're comedic minds.
Uh-oh.
They're going to be all over that. But he comes up to huge fanfare.
A Confederate soldier came up from South Carolina. There he is. Look at the Confederate soldier.
Oh, Mr. Dick Cox.
Well, we can't. We're not allowed to say his real name. Oh, his name will get us in trouble, but it literally is. You can say Dick.
Yeah, Dick Cox.
And then it's
Cox with an E.
Yes.
Cox with an E.
I think you could say it's Cox with an E.
How was your trip up? It was good. Very good.
Well,
Yeah.
get closer. I want the people to see the Civil War beard you're growing. Are you?
How y'all doing?
Are you one of those reenactors?
No, sir.
You don't reenact.
No, I'm still there. I'm still living it.
All right. So
It's not a reenactment. It's just a flashback.
So we like to call him DC. How we met DC back in the day. You remember meeting DC?
I do.
Because it cost you close to $1,000.
I believe that's true.
Yeah. So DC, big fan of what I do. He's a part of our lovely group. We got a nice group.
Okay, so he's part of the pod squad.
Oh.
That's how you get on Opie's show, is by being part of the Facebook group, the private Facebook group that they have. You have to be let into. So this Dick Cox comes up, and he's a giggle puss. He's just back there giggling away. I'm sitting next to Opie. Look at me. There's Opie.
Can I guess how they met? DC and Matt, that big motherfucker walked into the bar and broke a table or a chair. Maybe he went through the floor a little bit and got stuck in his belly like Winnie the Pooh.
Close. He came in back when Opie was doing the Gebhard shows originally, when it was just audio and we were covering it. So he came in to meet Opie because he's a big fan, but he brought a ton of booze with him. I might even remember this. We might have covered this on WATP years ago. This guy brought all this booze with him and was handing out bottles and beer and stuff to people. So when he says he cost him money, it's because everyone got drunk on this guy's supply instead of buying it from Matt
I see.
at Gebhard's.
Son of a bitch.
But this is, again, another Scorch parallel where everything's just excitement. They're like, hey, DC, everybody. Yeah, everyone's excited. And they're like, nothing happens. The guy has nothing to add. He's not an interesting guest. He's just a dude who's hanging out there and having his Make-A-Wish thing happen. So they wrap up with him pretty quickly.
And they know they're going to talk to him and bring him on. No one makes room for him or gets him a mic.
No, they don't have
anything.
another
How do
mic.
you
So
make room
Matt
for
has
that?
to. Yeah, he's a very big guy.
Jesus Christ.
So Matt has to like hold his mic back and do that kind of thing. So like I said, he's on for a very short amount of time. He's giggly, and then they're like, all right.
He's upstairs. He goes, no way. I can't handle a hangover tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. With the free bar.
Anyway, good to see you. Welcome back.
Sir. Thank you. All right, DC, get the hell out of here.
Yes, sir.
You're blocking our set.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is he a big boy?
All right. So they get rid of their first guest. Now, Opie's going to try to riff on this man. And even Matt's a terrible co-host.
Yeah. It's like he doesn't want to be there.
It is like he doesn't want to be there. Check this out.
Bro, you could be in like a horror movie. He could be in a horror movie.
Horror movie?
Yeah, but, right?
Sit there.
With the big fucking Civil War beard,
Not bad. Good job,
yes.
Matt.
bald. He's got some weird trench coat on.
And he's like, horror movie? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, he's got a beard. He's wearing a trench coat. It's a Carhartt.
Yeah.
It wasn't a trench coat.
He's bald.
He's terrifying. I'll give you that.
That's not the first thing I would have thought. And I like that Matt's just like, yeah, I guess. Could be in a horror movie. It's hard to yes and Opie.
He said thinner. That was pretty good. I would have said thicker when I wiped my thumb across his face.
So Opie decides, let's go to the super chats. Let's see what's doing on there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's do super chats. Love you, Oppo. Without Ant, you'd be 500 feet below New York City. All right, thanks, bro.
Whoops.
Thanks for $2.
We don't give a shit.
Then why put it up?
Sure don't.
Oh, Matt truly does.
Now, a couple of things going on there. So Opie announced at the beginning of the show. That was the first thing. I didn't not play an intro. The first thing we played was the very beginning of the show. Super chats introduced right away. And he gets a super chat. He's like, oh, all right, let's go to the super chats. That was the only one he got. And it's just making fun of Opie for, Anthony is the one who carried him into where he is today. And Opie at the end there says, we don't give a shit over and over again. Now, remember, he didn't want to say Cox. This guy's last name was Cox. He's like, we can say Dick, but so he slips here because he's angry.
We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit.
Sure don't.
Oh, Matt truly does.
And you're going to see coming up that he
What'd you say,
always
bitch?
censors his language except for there. So he's angry.
Yep.
All right. So let's get some more jokes in.
Scott Watson.
Oh, he can type?
Butterbean looks like ass.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Scott Watson puts up a free chat. Butterbean looks like shit, calling that guy Butterbean, right?
Sure.
And Opie reads it as he looks like ass. So he's immediately now censoring himself. And look at this big reaction to this.
Scott Watson.
Oh, he can type?
Butterbean looks like ass.
Oh,
no, it's going to get ugly.
That's like, not to keep comparing all these different locales. That's like Aaron Imholt level when he's reading the chat. Like, oh, guys, come on. Oh, you rapscallions, come on, guys. Jeez, that's too much. That's too much. Family show here. Wow. It's not that exciting, guys. I promise you that. All right, you guys ready for guest number 2?
I hope it's the Ninja Turtles.
What I love about this show is that Opie is running it as if it's a real talk show. We do some banter. We bring up our guest number 1. He leaves. Guest number 2 comes up. And all of this is so ridiculous. It's a child playing talk show host.
Sure.
It's Scorch playing talk show host.
It's more like a fashion show, really.
Yeah, except they have to hide off camera in a fucking basement.
Right, behind the kegs.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, hey, is Ron the waiter here?
Ron, why don't you come in? Well,
Yeah. Ron the waiter.
hey, Ron.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Ron.
Let me tell you something. I just met Dick Cox for the first time.
And I got to say,
Hot Cox.
can we show the people your license to prove that that's your real name? Sure. That's cool, right?
It's-
Home address and everything,
It's
right?
a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Why you?
That's Opie freezing up, not me. So Ron the waiter shot out of a cannon. He's screaming, the thick Boston accent, yelling Cox after Opie was just like, let's not say that so much, right? So that kind of fucked that up a little bit. But he's scolding Ron right here as he's freezing up. It's like, all right, what are we doing? Why are we screaming so much? Now, Jody, let me ask you this.
Please.
You just heard them say that gentleman from South Carolina, his name is Richard Cox, nicknamed Dick Cox. Did you think that maybe they were lying about that, or do you just believe that that's probably his name?
One of my best friends in the world is named Delvin Cox. I assume they're related.
Yep.
They're teamed
Well,
after-
they're definitely not, but yes, I hear what you're saying.
You don't know that.
I don't. You're right. I just assume. And so I would assume that, this guy's that probably is his real name. But no. They have to prove it by showing his ID.
I don't really.
There it is. There it is.
All right, there you go.
Oh boy.
There you go.
I don't hold things
His
too well.
name is Dick Cox.
All right, Ron, stop.
It said Junior on there,
And
too,
he's
so
a-
there's another one of those.
And he's a good old boy.
Little Nick.
Ron is overly stimulated or something. Like he ate his Halloween candy before he was supposed to, or something. He's all caffeinated and juiced up. He's losing his mind over this shit. But I'm glad they showed the ID. I thought they were lying about his name, and now I know it's real.
I think it's Cox. Coxe doesn't spell Cox.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but I would change the pronunciation of my name if it was funny. Hamburger.
I would change my first name to I love or a lot of or something along those lines.
So that would be gay, though. I don't know if you thought this through, Jody. That'd be pretty gay.
You don't even know what you said.
All right. Ron does have a great joke for Dick Cox. He's got something in the chamber.
By the way, like,
He is a good old boy.
let me tell you something. What a name to have if you're living in Boston. Dick Cox, the cocksucker.
All right, Ron.
But I can't. It's his name. I'm allowed.
Ron, all right, enough.
He's a good old boy.
Yeah, we got it. Are you drunk? What's going on with you?
You brought him on.
What is this Ron the waiter fucking guy? What is he doing?
I think it's Ethan Kleining.
Yeah. He
bit.
is
He's
fired
taking
up on
vitamins.
something. Yeah, he's got some marching powder. So he comes on and he's like, it'd be great if he was in Boston because you can call him Dick Cox the cocksucker.
It's not Cox, it's Quawks.
Yeah. You could also do that in Miami or San Francisco if you wanted to. I mean, it doesn't really make sense either way.
Nope.
But
It's funny watching Opie get upset, though.
yeah. Because Opie's one rule is like, let's keep this rated G, guys. I'm trying to get a gig. Want to get a gig on broadcast medium, and I don't need someone yelling "cocksucker" as loud as possible in the basement of Gebhardt's. By the way, if anyone wonders why they moved this from the upstairs of Gebhardt's to the basement,
Can you guys get below the toilets?
Matt's just like, man, we used to have a lot of customers on Tuesday. What shade? Oh, that obnoxious asshole with a microphone who screams at everyone who walks
He's
in
getting
the
the
door.
waiters all fucking revved up, so they're calling people cocksuckers as they're walking in.
Right.
It's a great plan.
Where they used to broadcast from, because I've been to Gebhardt's. Listen, I'm not proud of this. I've been to Gebhardt's. Where they used to broadcast from is right in the front, where anyone coming into the place has to walk past them
Sure.
to get into the place. And if it's nice outside, the windows are open and they're yelling and screaming. They're in the way of the pinball machines.
Oh, fuck that.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's
Not
strike one.
cool. Oh, that's strike all. That's 3 strikes in 1 right there. Everyone knows it's 10 strikes and you're out. As the great Steel Panther taught us. All right, so now they're going to start teasing Ron a little bit.
Well, all right. Well, we're glad to see you, Ronnie.
So what else is going on, Ronnie? So I'm gonna.
We didn't ask what else is going on, Ronnie.
I'm.
Did anyone ask him?
Who else died?
So
Did you ask what else is going on,
I'm
Ronnie?
gonna try.
Who else is dead?
Okay, Ron, that's enough of you. LOL, JK, JK, LOL, it's fine. Wow, you almost got us there. We almost thought you were going to kick Ron off the show. But no. He's
So-
going to stay on the show.
I didn't listen to a lot of Opie and Anthony, but I've heard that that was Opie's deal a lot, right? Like he would set up the bits, but he was also the guy that would try to get the show back on track, right?
Of course,
Was that his
yeah.
role?
Yep, steer the ship.
Yeah. So I mean, this is better than him sitting on his, in front of his pane glass window with the ring light and stuff. In my opinion, at least something's happening here. I can watch.
Define better.
I'm paying more attention to it and not thinking about putting a gun in my mouth.
All right.
Jody, you're just looking for rats.
Yeah, right. You're having too much fun looking through the pipes and trying to understand where the shitter is upstairs.
I feel like there should be warnings for mesothelioma on the doors to get
You
into
know what?
whatever place
I
they're
didn't even
at.
realize this. I'm playing clips that I thought were interesting from the show, and it's so boring that Jody B is trying to figure out how the plumbing works in this building. He's just like, well, I'm seeing enough of this plumbing. I can come to some conclusions here, guys.
Yeah, it's in my blood. That's a 3/8 pipe right there. You'd have
Yep.
to maybe that was definitely not regulation. I can tell you that.
Well, hold on. We're going to get back to the fun right here because Ron is talking about how, big news. Trump was out pitching Teslas. Very embarrassing moment where he's out there shilling Teslas for his buddy, Elon Musk. And so Ron's talking all about that. And Matt, he just has instincts. Now, I know he owns 2 bars and that's like his main profession, but he has these instincts as a broadcaster. And I understand why Opie has gravitated towards him and brought him in as co-host.
He wrote $100 million check, and the next day they're doing a little Tesla thing.
All right.
I don't know.
I don't give a shit.
I don't know.
You don't
I
care?
mean,
I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
I just like finding the funny stuff. with all
you know
of it.
what?
So Ron's going on and on about this thing. That is news. People are talking about it. And Matt goes, I don't give a shit.
Thanks,
I don't
Matt.
care. Yeah, thanks, Matt. Thanks for shutting down that conversation. I guess we won't be talking about that anymore. Chris, I can't remember a time that I've given you serious notes after a show. We've definitely talked about things that we both could be doing better. If I ever brought up a subject you went, I don't care, we'd have a conversation after the show.
I'll see myself out.
I don't care.
He's gonna go get Jenny's paddle and beat your ass with it.
Right.
That's an act of violence.
Yes. Be like, all right, well, then let's see if Stuttering John was on Cameo today. Then.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Fuck you. All right, so now Ron is retarded. Ron the waiter, like he comes across as like a low IQ individual, and then he opens his mouth and proves it.
Sure.
So
Lower IQ individual.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you're just like, I thought he would be smarter than that. Wow, I'm actually taken aback. But here's some Tesla talk, and Ron is confused about how battery cars have always been considered green.
The symbolism, if you see somebody in a Tesla truck, you immediately think, oh, he's a MAGA supporter. He's a Trump supporter. He has a red MAGA hat. And then your listener, who was very insightful, said, actually, that's not true. Initially, Teslas were the
blue
of
people.
like the hippie
It was.
Democrats.
Yeah.
How is that a
precisely.
brilliant point?
I didn't think of that.
That's an obvious point.
Well, I didn't know initially Tesla was sort
No.
of more like hippie Democrat.
No,
Well, yeah, no, it certainly was.
Was it? I
And
didn't know that.
exclusively.
Electric cars were all the left were buying the electric cars to save the environment, blah blah blah.
Remember
and
when
now
those-
we flipped that shit,
But-
and now it's
so-
MAGA people that are buying the electric cars.
Right.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
No, but so
And by the way, let me just jump
Yeah,
in
go
here
ahead.
for a second. If you really want to save the environment, what should you do as far as cars go?
What? Don't drive them?
Matt, once again, useless as a co-host. So Ron didn't know that Tesla was loved by people on the left for a long time because it was battery instead of gasoline,
Apparently
fossil
not.
fuel. And then obviously people who used to like him don't like him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Opie, rightfully so, goes, how the fuck do you think that's never been brought up before? Like everyone knows that. And then Opie's like, we changed the subject. Forget about battery cars. Matt, what do you think we should do to save the environment? Asking me?
Yeah.
Why do you think Matt knows anything?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, Matt is so worthless on this show. And to be worthless with Opie as the other host is difficult to do.
That's painful.
You have to be pretty bad at your job. All right, let's find out. We're trying to bring on guest number 3 to the show. Start off by asking Opie what beer are you drinking, Ope?
And yours is from
I don't know.
Sierra Nevada, which is brewed in Asheville. Is it South Carolina? Is Asheville South Carolina?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. I was close.
Actually, Sierra Nevada's an amazing place.
Oh no.
It's an amazing place. Scott Arsenal from the private Facebook.
There he is. There he
We're
is.
going to talk about beer. All right, come on in here. Come on in. The only person that talks more than Ron the waiter. It's Scott Arsenal, everybody. This fucking guy will talk your ear off. Is he right behind me? Oh, shit.
Come on.
I don't think
he heard you because he was talking.
So here comes another asshole.
Yep.
Who's hanging out there just to get a little time on the stream. And Opie's already letting the audience know that this guy sucks. It's a great way to bring on a guest. Oh, this guy doesn't stop fucking talking. Great. Yeah, let's bring on this jerk off. Cool.
Yeah.
Broadcast.
If you didn't like Ron the waiter,
Yeah. And they don't delete Ron the waiter. He stays on. Now there's 4 retards all talking. And this is the point that I think Anthony was making on his show. Someone was talking about this. It might have actually been Drew Lane now that I think about it. But someone was talking about the fact that Opie's constantly bragging. He discovered Anthony. He discovered Jim Norton. The Opie and Anthony show was all because of him. It was his brainchild. He found a guy who was a blue-collar guy and brought him on the radio because he knew radio guys are too polished and too pro. So he had that foresight and figured it all out. He really thinks he can make stars out of these retards?
You think that's what he's doing? This is like his new talent, America's Got Talent or whatever?
It's gotta be.
He's got talent, and he just brings the drunks down from upstairs, and he's like, this guy's a wicked fucking pool player.
It's gotta be, because why would Ron the waiter still be on this show all the time? I would have realized the first time he was on the show, like, okay, Ron, I don't need you here. Like, please don't show up anymore. I'd say it more politely than that. I'd be like, yeah, we don't go there on Tuesdays anymore.
He's loud. He's like loud and obnoxious. So I get where he could be like a character, but you got to know how to direct that. Like, you
Yes.
have to set him up and let him do the thing, or otherwise you just got a crazy person talking over your shoulder the whole time.
Right. So if he's going to come on and yell cocksucker over and over again, like Opie just shutting it down, you're not taking full advantage of what you got here.
No.
It's not helping. It's like if Howard had Beetlejuice on and Beetlejuice starts telling a story and Howard's like, no, that's definitely not what happened. Beetle, shut up. you're telling a tale that definitely did not happen at all. All right. So Ron the waiter now is talking about gay homo beer.
Oh,
You don't want
Beer is-
you don't want like a gay homo beer.
Yeah.
That's why I don't drink Bud Light anymore. Am I right, my friend?
No, Bud Light,
Fuck
man.
that, Bud Light.
You gotta update your info, man. Shane Gillis did a badass
I know they're trying to.
commercial
I know, but they're
with
trying
Post
to get.
Malone.
Yeah, I
the whole
know.
commercial where you're not allowed to drink on camera,
Yeah, I
and then
know.
they count it down, and when they get to one, the camera.
They're trying to make it
the
macho
commercial's
again.
over. No, it's coming back because of guys like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I-
So
Mhm.
go ahead.
I
Johnny.
have a comment about gay homo beer because if I'm not mistaken, he's drinking Sierra Nevada, which means it's an IPA. An IPA tastes like potpourri water, and if you drink it, you're a fucking homo.
Wow. That's a hot
Nice.
take right there. That take might be a little bit too hot for even WATP. I don't know how the comments are going to respond. Boom! Hot take! To something like that.
You enjoy the taste of IPA. I assume you enjoy the taste of cock.
I actually hate IPAs.
Sure, you do.
So you might be onto something. Me. But so Opie just said that, listen, Bud Light's no longer the gay homo beer because Shane Gillis did a TV commercial with Post Malone. And so therefore it's not gay anymore. Okay. Sound logic right there. But right after explaining that, he says this.
Why are you influenced by a commercial? You either like your beer or you don't like your beer, right?
Amen, brother.
Right?
You tell it like it is.
Well, I think that's how it should be in the end. I don't,
You know what? I'm drinking my beer.
I am
drinking my goddamn beer.
Oh boy.
Opie was the one who was tricked into thinking Bud Light is good by a TV commercial just a second ago. He goes, no, TV commercials told me that it's not gay anymore because Shane Gillis is cool. And then he goes, why does anyone look at TV commercials to decide what beer they should be drinking? I don't know. Why did you do that, Opie? It's a great question.
Yeah. He just didn't want to be caught drinking one in public. He's like, no, put it in a glass. I don't need a can. I don't need anybody sending me ugly emails about how gay I am.
It really did become a huge phenomenon a year ago where nobody would be caught drinking a Bud Light.
Not me. I was buying it in bulk because it was on sale.
Yes, they couldn't give it away.
That's right.
Bud Light Seltzer, I was taking it 2 or 3 steps further. I go, yeah, I'm all the way gay. If it's buy one, get one on 12 packs, let's go.
But you were pouring it into a glass, right?
Yeah, and then right into my asshole.
Right. You gotta get a solo cup or something to make it seem like you're drinking Bush or Bush Light. What's the go-to drink where you're from, Jody?
So Modelo is pretty high on the
That's
list.
number
for me.
one. That's number one in the U.S. right now.
I tell you what I like because I'm too cheap to buy Coors. I
Yeah.
drink Keystone. It's made in the
Keystone.
same place. It's like the Bush of Coors.
Right.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, when I was poor, Keystone Light 12-pack,
You know it, baby.
$4.99.
Yeah.
And I would buy
these, Carl, I buy these at the Dollar General, and
Yep.
you get 8 pints for $7. Yep.
I mean, you have to drink Keystone, but
Here I am buying good beer like a sucker.
yeah, dummy, what were you thinking?
So last night I cracked one open, and it got stormy here and shit, and I decided to go to bed. I had half a can, and I just said, I don't feel like drinking this anymore. And because it's only $1, I just poured it out.
Someone's doing well.
La-di-da.
Yeah, wow.
Pouring Keystone down the drain over here in my little slice of heaven.
I love that was like a big achievement for Joe. He's like, I finally made him. I'm going to call my mom, let her know.
Yes.
I drank half a beer, didn't even give a shit.
This isn't even for my homies.
They can suck it. All right. I have one more clip on here because I know what you're thinking. What does Ron bring to the table? Does he do anything? And the answer is yes, of course.
Cocaine.
He's got a nope. He can't afford cocaine.
Yeah.
He's got a big joke that we're gonna end on here.
I am influenced. I started smoking Virginia Slims to lose weight.
That's working out really well for you.
That's great.
Oh, boy.
That's good, Ron. That's good.
That's why they keep him around.
Yeah.
That's why they keep him around right there.
Good
Good
job,
stuff.
Ron.
I didn't see you laughing over there, producer Chris. Do you not hear it, or
I'm laughing on the inside.
it's losing your mind on the inside?
It's like the,
Sure.
is it called the Boo Collar comedy tour with Ron Wide holding it down?
I like it.
Thank you.
The boo collar. I can go along with that.
You're welcome. 10%.
Who are these podcasts?